friends, Chris and Zach. They live in a world surrounded by not so normal things. They are the Hellbenders.
By Oni NG and Psychic Pebbles is still something of an anomaly to me. Two popular internet cartoon creators came together and decided to make a series that may air on television or some network is mind-blowing. With fan bases already established from the two creators, there was no way this could fail, right? I don't have an answer for that because it's somewhere lost in the endless abyss that is speculation. However, this video isn't going to hover over something that isn't happening right now. For most of this video, I'm going to be mostly positive, and I'm going to talk about why I think Hellbenders is important, and why it needs to get a full series, and my personal experience and story about my appreciation for the Hellbenders cartoon. Hellbenders is a collaboration of Chris O'Neill and Zach Hadel, and the first episode was Ice Cream that came out on August 17th, 2017.
Blue, please.
Blue what?
I want blue.
So, actually, this video will come out around the 5-year anniversary of this series starting. Wow. The most popular video in the series is Appaloosa, and that released 2 months later. 2 months after that, we got the Hellbenders Christmas special episode. We only got these 3 episodes in 2012. If I was to describe what Hellbenders was to somebody who hasn't seen any of the videos, I would probably tell them it's just 2 small goblin-like men animating extremely exaggerated versions of themselves with tiny faces, just trying their best. I would also tell them it's like Ren and Stimpy and Beavis and Butthead meets every Newgrounds cartoon ever. Now, here's a bit of odd trivia. There was a website that contained comics and updates about the progress of the series. The website hellbenders.tv no longer exists, unfortunately. It's been 5 years since anything related to video has been put out about Hellbenders. I wasn't originally going to put this in the video because I didn't want to give it exposure because I thought it would harm both Chris and Zach. I'm still not going to use any of the footage from the leaked pilot because if this somehow gets monetizable, I don't want to profit off it. Zacnophobia was leaked because of a hacker going through Zach's network and found the pilot in April. For some reason, this version was unnecessarily cut and edited and was missing a lot of scenes and a lot of jokes didn't make any sense. So, upon further investigation, a longer version was uploaded. Here are some statements made by Zach on Reddit about the leak. Hey, co-creator of this, just to clarify a few things. This was heavily edited for absolutely no reason. About half the scenes were completely cut out from even the first version of this that was leaked. I have no idea why someone would deliberately edit out a good amount of the scenes and upload this. If the scenes were edited out because they felt incomplete, it's because they are. This is not the complete project. Chris and I always worked on Hellbenders by doing rewrites and redoing lines until we found the perfect balance. The original version of Appaloosa was awful, but we edited it down and heavily moved things around. It's why I feel so weird about having this up. It's like looking at a half-cooked meal and saying, this looks awful, I wouldn't eat this. I'm totally fine with people not liking the project, but at least wait until it's done. Number 2, no, this didn't take 3 years to make. It took about 4 to 5 months of storyboarding and animation with a very tiny team that was 2 guys most of the time. Keep in mind, it ultimately ended up being 15 or so minutes, and we dealt with a very tiny budget. The other 2+ years went to us figuring out what the series would be, where it would go, etc., while the people we partnered with renegotiated the contract a bunch of times so we owned everything and it would be fair, which we ultimately ended up getting at the end of it. I really don't know if this actually jeopardizes things, but I assume not so much when it wasn't Zach's fault for it leaking. Overall, it's up to where you place on the moral compass if you want to go and watch this. I think Hellbenders is one of the most important internet cartoons. Yes, I'm giving a lot of credit to what seems like the animated exaggeration of 2 men doing their best Ren and Stimpy impressions, but hear me out. I believe that Hellbenders was the absolute peak of Chris and Zach's internet career. If we look at the bigger picture and the scene of animation at the time, we can see that most of these animators found fame through their video game or movie parody cartoons, especially Chris and Zach. What makes Hellbenders prolific among the animators in the community is the hopeful possibility of it getting on Adult Swim or some big network. Hellbenders looked and sounded extremely professional, and it wasn't surprising to find out Chris and Zach were trying to get this on some type of network. Now, internet animators have gone on to work on bigger projects for networks. An example is Ian James Quartey on things like Steven Universe and Adventure Time. For those who don't know who Ian James Quartey is, before all this, he did Knock Force. Hellbenders at the time was special because it was an independent YouTube and Newgrounds animators breaking into the industry with their own original show and concept. I feel this ambitious idea is a turning point for cartoon content on the internet and its future in the actual industry. I'm sure you can apply this argument to many other cartoonists. I'm basically circle jerking my favorite animators, so take that as you will. Psychic Pebbles uploaded an update video to his channel last October detailing the future of his channel. This is one of the first things that he mentions.
You know, Chris and I have been pretty sparse on what we've been putting out in terms of info for this show for the last 4 years now. So I'll be as transparent as I'm allowed to be, and I hope that says something. I'll say this. We have told you guys everything we're allowed to say.
The future of the series is still currently ambiguous, and as time goes on, we can only hope that something is going to happen with it. I have high hopes of something eventually happening with this project, but Leo and Satan got stuck in network limbo. All we can do is hope that Hellbenders doesn't have that same fate. I feel the idea has a lot of potential to really become popular because of how subversive it would be from other shows. Although Adult Swim already has those weird subversive shows, I feel Hellbenders would have been something out of left field because of the people behind the project. I feel a wider audience would have done wonders for not just the creators, but everyone associated with what was Sleepy Cabin and Newgrounds. But again, that's just speculation on that, and I really don't know. Again, all we have to do is speculate, because at this moment we don't know the fate of the series or what's going on with it. I just wanted to add a small anecdote to the end of this video just because Hellbenders is quite personal to me in a weird way. So if you don't really care about this, click off the video because there's nothing after this, you prick. I am a huge fan of Oni-NG and Psychic Pebbles, both by association with each other. Out of my longtime binges on Newgrounds and YouTube cartoons, they were always my favorite. When Hellbenders came out, suffice to say it, all hell broke loose. This stupid cartoon destroyed my brain in high school. After I saw this, me and my friend DJ were quoting this daily.
But we're selling apples!
Apples? Motherfucker, you should have said so earlier. It's $50 a pop.
To truly understand our maximum autist power levels, we used to do the walk cycle in high school and had both cosplayed as Chris and Zach at Anime Midwest. The first time I saw Appaloosa, I'm pretty sure I laughed so hard my brain turned into boiling milk as I pissed myself into oblivion. I really liked this, if that wasn't apparent by me making this video about it. Hellbenders will always be legendary to me, and I think it's an important piece in internet animation history. I feel it's one of the best independent internet cartoons and something that oddly left an impact on me. And it definitely cemented my love for web animators and made me appreciate the amount of time they put into things and their passion.